As you can see, a little more progress has been made on this 1972 Porsche 914. From the original state we got it in, we've done a little bit of a creative paint scheme on it just to blend the old and the new, keeping some of the original gold metallic colors. Here's some of the original pictures from when I picked the car up. The interior is starting to come together. A little bit of a refresh on it from the bare shell that it was when I picked it up. The suspension has all new bushings and has since gone back into the front end of the car. As you can see, I do have the original hole there from when the air conditioner was installed from the dealership. Have to make a patch panel for that and start putting it back together. The brake regulator has been rebuilt and reinstalled by the engine bay. And then started replacing the shocks on the vehicle as well. Started in the back of the vehicle. See, I've got the old one removed here. Not sure if it's original or not, but definitely needed to be replaced. So it's out of the car, showing here where it was removed from the lower position and then to the top as well. Got the new ones laid out, ready to swap over the spring. So got my Death Trap Harbor Freight spring compressor ready. Try not to lose any limbs in the process of that. Thankfully everything worked out okay. Got it compressed, got it loosened up, got the spring removed from the old shock. And back in place on the vehicle. Then just repeat it on the opposite side. Tighten up the nut. Then turn my attention to the front shocks on the vehicle, loosening the nut, getting everything loosened. Had to take off the front assembly in order to get these replaced. As you see here, here's the old one. Got the new shock laid out and the new bushing for it. So if you notice here, I did make a mistake. I started out by putting the ball joint in first, and then every time I tried putting the assembly back in, I had a hard time lining the groove back up. So in a little bit, wisened up to that, removed it, and actually put it on the bottom of the shock assembly. Made it a whole lot easier to put it in place. There you go, you can see it here. And then thread the nut back on the bottom. Next, use a little bit of Marvel Mystery Oil, remove the spark plugs, put some down in each of the cylinders. I'd let it set for about a week before trying to turn the engine for the first time. So this was the first attempt at turning it with the starter. I had previously jacked the vehicle up, put it in gear, and then turned the rear wheel in order to turn the engine over and remove all the mystery oil that was still sitting down inside the engine. You can tell here I'd also done some cleanup, trying to get some of the dust and debris off of it before I started working there on the engine. Pulled the spark plugs. They were pretty dirty, just tidied them up, try to get the vehicle running before I think about replacing those, but they seem to be in decent enough shape to get things going. With the plugs and plug wires back in place, I'll soon start turning my attention to see if I can get some spark. Next up, I'll be reinstalling the fuel tank, hooking everything up to the new fuel pump, see if we can get this thing to fire off. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.